Jesus Christ, I'm working with two prima donnas. We got 36 fucking subscribers, and they think they're the greatest thing ever.
What do you mean think?
What do you mean? You're texting on the podcast now?
Not texting.
What does it say? Clickbaity. Dude, you should have already had your stuff all fucking ready to go.
Should I?
So now you're figuring out what you're going to say on the podcast now?
Yeah.
Trump in prison, that's your clickbaity?
Trump in prison?
God.
Question mark, question mark. That's the most clickbaity title I can think of right now.
I mean,
No.
he's not in prison.
He's never
That's
gonna
why
be
I
in
put the
prison.
question marks.
And I mean, unless he, I guess we should probably do our intro, huh?
Yeah, welcome to our podcast. We got Taylor and Andrew. Since I didn't put up the names last time on the fucking thing, I forgot to do that.
Sir Taylor and Sir Andrew.
Yeah, because your guys' egos, your fucking heads are getting bigger. We got 36 subscribers now. Fucking come in and just don't want to move chairs, don't want to talk in a mic. Fuck. What'd you bring with you?
Brought hot sauce.
Taylor, would you like to do some hot sauce today?
No.
There are very mild hot sauces over there, and then there are some very spicy hot sauces.
Have you tried them?
No, I have not.
Yeah, wow.
Does it have the, that scale? What is it, like the Scoville
Yes.
scale on it?
The most mild one has 2,000 Scoville units, and that's a mild sauce.
So what does that equate to? Like Diablo sauce at fucking Taco Bell?
I'd imagine. No.
No. Worse?
It's got to be more mild than that.
Oh, well, that's nothing.
It's got to be like,
I want to try that.
yeah?
Yeah. But when we get up to habanero style, that's when I bring my son from inside out.
Habanero style is like 100,000 Scoville units.
Nikki, hey, while you're swapping cameras, can you ask Nikki if he wants to do a hot sauce challenge today?
I've got a hot sauce in there.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, like 2,000 is like the level of a jalapeno.
Oh, that's nothing.
Yeah.
I've got one in there that's 2 million.
2 million. All right. Unfortunately,
That is on the scale of a Carolina Reaper.
Yeah? Okay, good.
I don't have milk in the house,
Oh, yeah.
but I will.
He's got his fancy foo-foo coffee. So,
But you need something alkaline.
you realize that's a myth, right?
What, alkaline?
Yeah.
No, it's not a myth. Alkaline.
Milk
What-
does not help. No.
Is this on Mythbusters?
No.
The only site I'll listen to is Mythbusters.
Hey,
Are you promoting
it's that
something?
one. Now, on the hot ones, he says that milk really doesn't work. That's like our I don't know. It's upside down. You fucked it up.
Did you buy this from them?
Retake.
Amanda got it for me.
I mean, he must have.
Like, all right. we'll
And now I absolutely know I'm not doing it.
You got the classic hot sauce. Yeah, it's going to be brutal.
Like, have you ever watched?
yeah.
Yeah.
And
like
they're
that-
dying. They're close to death.
See, a spoon's not gonna do it. I wish I had like tortilla chips or something like that. So you just
Garlic
dab
bread.
some.
Or you should have your wife make wings. Bring them out.
Yeah, because my wife cooks. Well, what are you talking about, man?
Look at this bad boy right here.
Wait, is that the bad one?
That's the worst one, yeah, for sure.
All right. We'll give him a shot later.
I don't know if
Made
That's
with
gonna
the
wreck me, dude.
Apollo pepper.
What's gonna wreck you? Well, that's why we'll do it at the end.
we should do it now, so we're just red-faced. And
Heat level 10 out of 10.
No, I'll have my son come out. He can handle that shit.
This one has 15 out of 10.
What? Seriously?
You
Yeah.
need what?
Then why is this?
Why you didn't
Didn't you
bring
just
your
say
phone?
this was the hottest one?
I think they're lying.
We'll go out and grab him at the end. So we'll do the cast, and then Taylor can try the hardest one. That's
I'm
out there.
not.
You're
I don't want to be fucking miserable for the rest of the day.
Too late.
I don't want to shit fire
Too late.
this evening.
Well, I appreciate you bringing those.
I don't. 'Cause
Well-
I'm scared.
Scared of what?
I'm scared of... I don't handle spicy well at all.
We'll have Nick come out and
Scared of lava coming out of his rectum.
I'll do a
mean,
few until we get up to like the level of a habanero.
I think that's like 2 or 3
Well,
in. isn't it?
just let me see that. So Yeah, just keep flipping in front of the fucking cameras. Jesus Christ. Scoville Heat, most popular. Dressed up American Argentina flavor. Well, it doesn't. Which
Oh,
one's?
habanero's halfway up the list.
What is that? How many Scovilles?
100,000 to 350,000.
Okay, so I can go up to number 7. I can go up to number 7. I don't want to do habanero. So then you got the bomb, Digo sauce, and the hot ones, which is 2 million. So I'll go up to I'll do number 6.
All right.
Collar and Ghost, 70,000 Scovilles.
I think she just knows what kind of life insurance policy I have through Kaiser, so she bought me these.
And then you and Nikki can go above.
No,
Yeah. You've done habaneros. You've eaten habaneros before.
I've eaten a habanero, and it wrecked me, dude. I was like dead for like hours.
So we can give that a shot in a bit. It's been a wild week.
Should have got some naked wings from like Buffalo Wild Wings.
They already have shit on them though. Oh,
Just
naked
naked
wings.
wings, yeah.
I gotcha.
Or like Wingstop.
I've never been to Buffalo Wild Wings.
It's very mediocre.
Is
yeah,
it?
it is.
You know what?
It's overpriced too.
The one that had the line up there on North Division, Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Is that was Chick-fil-A on North Division?
Or Popeyes, one of the two.
No, was it
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A?
It has to be
Zach?
Chick-fil-A then.
On North Division, the one that had the line for like 6 months of cars going into it. We went up there, and oh my god, not great. I was really
Isn't
surprised.
Chick-fil-A that like? Isn't it like an East Coast?
Yeah, but when it
thing?
came in, it came into Spokane, and we had one on North Division. I believe we still have one, and you would drive by, and there was literally a 3-block line for 6 months.
Really good advertising.
Well, I
apparently.
mean, wasn't it kind of the same way when Sonic first?
Sonic was not as bad, but
No.
Sonic. When I eat at Sonic, I like Sonic.
I mean, Sonic's okay.
It's above average. Chick-fil-A was.
It's certainly above somewhere like McDonald's or Jack in the Box, but I mean, as far as
Depending on-
phenomenal burgers,
No,
it is
depending-
not up there.
depending on what you get. So I like the foot-long coney. That's what I always get, and they have tater tots, so I dig it. And when they have the all-American dog, have you had the all-American dog there? It's good. So I'll
Where are
go.
you going for these phenomenal burgers?
Oh, there's not.
I
There's
can't
like
think of anything
no
in
phenomenal
Spokane.
burgers in
Delish is
Spokane.
phenomenal.
Delish was okay.
Delish is phenomenal. My daughter, she has a favorite burger in Seattle, and when we went to Delish, she said it's on par
Yeah.
with that. Coeur d'Alene has a place called the Tap House. If you ever go, it's at the end of
then you're
Sherman.
spending $20 for a burger.
It's fucking worth the $20. It's called the Masterpiece Burger. I enjoyed it that much. Normally, I'm a pig. When we go to like fucking Sherry's or something like that, my plate is gone within seconds. I gave everybody a bite of my burger. So normally I eat everything quickly, but yeah, I said, try this. It was so good. Masterpiece Burger at Tap House, really good. Delicious, really good. Anyways, when I went to Chick-fil-A, the line shortened to like a block and a half. We made it in there. A McChicken was fucking better than what they were serving.
Really?
Yeah. So, and it was overpriced. The portions were super small. So if you're going to be shitty,
McChickens are top tier though.
they're okay.
I love McChickens.
I don't mind
like
them. When
extra
I'm
mayonnaise.
hankering for a chicken, which not often, I'll go and get a McChicken because I like them. But yeah, way overpriced. You can get 2 McChickens for $3 or something like that, and this is way overpriced. Portions are super small, and it was just wasn't that great. So
Yeah, I've never been to Chick-fil-A.
Good.
And I have no intention of going.
well, that would be a good move because their lines are still long for shit food.
And don't they send money towards like anti-abortion people?
I don't know.
Don't they?
Even
hate
if
the
even if
gays?
they did,
They close on Sundays for
But they
God's
had-
Day.
I know, but even if they did and they had phenomenal food, I would go there because they have phenomenal food. That's why you go to a fucking restaurant, right? Because they have good food. Their food sucks. I'd rather get a McChicken or a fish sandwich, which is fucking ass at McDonald's.
I can't believe you'd say that.
All right, big week. I hate talking about politics on here or the orange idiot I do, because it just drags everything down and slows everything down. One of the things that really bothers me, when January 6th happened, the attempted coup. So anybody who's a patriot in this country and says I love my country and flies a flag but supports January 6th, your country was almost overthrown. And anybody who doesn't think that is just fooling themselves.
But it was overthrown for their guy, for their team.
Right.
And that's all that matters anymore in the United States, which fucking team you're on.
But your constitution would have been gone. It would have been dictatorial, right? Trump would have been in charge of everything. So one of the things that really bothered me about that was watching the video. And now she's memes, which, give me a fucking break, our side, the left. I don't want to see memes like this.
I do. That's how I hear about all my news.
Have you seen the memes of her before and after laying on the ground?
No.
So the girl.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So the girl who was in there and tried to break through the door.
The dipshit who got herself killed.
Right.
Yeah.
You can call her a dipshit or whatever, but
I mean, she
had a gun
tried to climb through a broken window when there was a guy behind said door, with a gun, fucking pointed at her, telling her to stop.
Yeah.
And she did it anyways. I mean,
so
we give people shit about suicide by cop,
Darwin Award,
all the fucking time, and this woman did exactly that, knowing full well what was going to fucking happen when she did it.
So if you've been propagandized enough, maybe you don't have this in you, Taylor, but I've taught my kids, if you believe in something, go out and do something about it. And she was propagandized enough to think that the election was really stolen. And when we watch the January 6th hearings, we know that Trump knew full and well at the end of November that he had lost. He just kept espousing this bullshit over and over again. So he was lying to these people.
He's a bullshit artist.
He's a
that's what he does.
He's a con artist.
Every fucking thing that comes out of his mouth is either a lie or deflection or just...
It's always for personal gain.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't give a fuck about anybody else, which is why he let this poor woman believe the lie that got herself killed.
Well, he didn't care. But so that was the during January 6th, that's the thing that bothered me the most, because I taught my kids to, if you believe in something, go do something about it. So she believed in something, even if it was a lie, that was her truth, and she went and did something about it, and she got killed over it because of his lie. So now, fast forward to yesterday.
Probably not the best thing to your kids, especially if they're joining Andrew Tate's Discord or something. Your son's gonna start chasing women at night.
This is the ridiculousness that we have in our country, and if I'll try to explain it as simple as I can, and Taylor and me have argued about this before. A truth is a belief. So, what's a truth to you guys could be different than a truth to me. What I believe is a truth. So she believes something was real, and that was truth to her. Whether it's a fact or not is different.
I mean, I'm sure this has been said between us before when we've talked and argued about this, but I believe in objective truth. You're talking about subjective truth.
Okay, you can say that however you like, right? But if you believe something, that is a truth to you. So when somebody believes subjectively, when somebody believes in God, that there is a God, that's their truth. They believe that's true, right? We, sitting at the table, think it's bullshit, and to us, it's fucking fake news. It's just bullshit, right? But to her, she actually believed that this was true. So her going and doing that, she thought that she was actually doing something for change.
If we really want to be, honest about this, what you just described is literally the definition of being delusional.
Okay, but how do you know that you're not being delusional on your side? Like, you came in here the other day.
How is not believing in something that has arguably no proof for it delusional?
Okay, so you came in here. Let me just we'll hash this out real quick. You came in here probably like 3 podcasts ago and said, "I'm excited," and we said, "What are you excited about?" And you said, "Well, the new vaccine's coming out that's going to take care of all the variants."
Well,
Well,
the Omicron variants.
but the reality is, you're not going to die from it. You didn't. You never.
There's always a chance.
I know, but
of getting a bad infection from something that would normally be benign.
I know, but the same as a cold, right?
People die from colds every year.
I understand that, but we're not vaccinating people for that, anyways. But
because there are far too many variants of the rhinovirus, and it mutates way too fucking quick, and it would be pointless.
And it's the same for the coronavirus. Viruses are viruses. They
mutate. Extent.
They mutate. They always mutate, Taylor. They just do.
Yeah, but there's literally thousands of variants.
You're word fucking this.
Of the cold virus.
So the people who got sick are people like over 65 that died. If you're fat, if you're obese and you're unhealthy, immunocompromised. So there's a very select group. Somebody like you, even though you're ginger, right? You're most likely not going to get it. We vaccinate our kids. There's almost 0% chance it will. So, but you think that that's a good thing. You were propagandized, and all of us did. You're propagandized into thinking that we needed this, right? That this was super important.
What's the definition of propaganda?
It's free for me, so it's not like I'm going out and blowing half my life savings to get this thing.
I know, but I don't want to justify. You're trying to justify it. I'm just saying that we're propagandized into going and getting this thing. I got it for my boys, and I text my daughter because she's a geneticist, and I said, "Is this safe?" And she goes, "Yeah, it's safe. Quit being stupid." So I went and got for the boys. Even though
is that negative propaganda from your daughter?
But even though the children under 25, let's say under 25. It's almost a 0% chance that they're going to die from this fucking thing. Almost 0%. But I got them vaccinated anyways. It's just fucking stupid.
Because in the off chance that there's a complication from the infection,
they're more likely to get struck by lightning and die than fucking get COVID and die, right?
Maybe, I don't know.
So, anyways,
but all I'm saying is, even if it is the same odds as you getting struck by lightning, do you want to take that risk?
So anyway,
when you don't have to.
We get propagandized by both sides. We're wearing fucking masks for years for really no reason. I still got coronavirus, even though we've gone through all this bullshit. Both sides get propagandized.
That's
anyways,
because you have kids. You drag this shit home.
Yeah.
Just the same reason why I got it, and I was religious about wearing masks.
Yeah, it's a virus. So you're going to probably
Once one person in your household gets it, usually a child, they pass it on to everybody else.
So truths are different to different people because of it's a belief in something. There is objective, true facts.
Both sides might get propagandized, but it doesn't take a genius to be able to see through the propaganda and not want to follow and
really. Then did you get vaccinated?
Go take an AR-15.
Were you wearing a mask?
I just looked up the definition of propaganda, right?
Yeah.
Anyone with any sort of knowledge, it's information, especially of a biased or misleading nature, used to promote or publicize a particular political cause or point of view.
Yep.
What was the vaccine?
Why are people still espousing Hold on. Why are people losing their jobs over this? Why? We're going way too far. I'm just trying to make a quick point, but we were all propagandized into thinking that this was a killer bug that was going to kill everybody, and we needed to get vaccinated. But we probably didn't. I definitely don't think my boys needed to get vaccinated.
But getting vaccinated slowed it down. And when you slow it down and when the infection isn't able to spread as much, it doesn't mutate as much.
So when Omicron hit and it was so
when it hit, it's still hitting.
Right.
Cases are climbing as we speak.
And my immune system took care of it because I got it and the vaccine helped out. Great, whatever. I'm not shitting on this. I'm just saying they propagandized us into believing it was something it wasn't. It was never going to be something that takes out 1/3 of the population.
Because we got ahead of it.
No, because
we got out. We got vaccinations. We started wearing masks.
Okay.
We shut down certain aspects of the economy to decrease the transmission in public spaces. I mean,
it didn't work.
What you're missing is that this could have been so much worse than it was.
That's the propaganda. So anyways, truths are different to everybody. So when she went in there, she believed that she was actually enacting change, that she was trying to make a difference because America was being taken over, okay?
Well, but hold on a second.
No, I'm trying to make a fucking point and you just keep interrupting. It's just fucking stupid.
Your point is she is violently assaulting the Capitol. Even if
And if you believed your country was in peril and being taken over by people and the wrong stuff was hopefully you would do the same fucking thing if you had any nuts to you.
I don't think I would.
Well, then you're a
assault
do-nothing.
the Capitol.
You're a do-nothing. If you thought the people in that Capitol were fucking overthrowing the government, then you're a do-nothing. If you thought the Republicans, if Trump was coming in and you wouldn't
well, let me
go
ask
do
you this.
nothing.
If she really wanted to do something about it, then why wasn't she armed? Why wasn't she shooting back?
I have no idea, Taylor.
Was she half-assing this whole Save America thing?
It doesn't matter.
Or was she going there just as an
I know.
excuse to stir shit up?
It just continues with you. I'm just trying to make a quick point.
Well, then make it.
Okay, so she's propagandizing the truth, thinking that the country's being overthrown. So we continue these lies over and over again. So yesterday, this guy goes out because Trump's Mar-a-Lago gets fucking... Trump at any point could release the warrant, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because he gets a copy of it?
Yep. And a list of everything that was taken.
After the fact. So after they're done, they have to give him a detailed list of everything that was taken. So he could release it at any time. But he lies to his people saying, just release it, just release it, just release it. So they think the truth's being withheld from them.
Yeah.
So you get this fucking idiot.
He doesn't understand how the game is played. And now he's in a position where he's gotten played by someone who knows how to play the game. And that's Merrick Garland.
And he's unwilling to do what the younger generation does, like you two. Like, go out and research vaccinations. See if this is important. Blah, 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 blah. He's unwilling to do that because he's in his ether where...
All the negative propaganda from Google, you're saying.
Yeah. So he's...
About me information.
Whatever
like
it is.
And Reddit.
Yeah.
Any sort of liberal news outlet. I should be looking at Truth Social.
Reddit's just as bad, man. It's propaganda central because it's just one group of people. You're getting nothing from any other side. Hardly ever.
I only use the conservative subreddit.
No, you don't.
You
only go on there if you go on the
he's a fan of the Donald.
Yeah, if you go on there, you're just trolling people. As simple as that. So he's been propagandized. His truth is that, these guys are going after Trump and all of this bullshit. So he takes down a nail gun. He tries to blow through the window with a fucking nail gun.
Why? It was bulletproof glass, not nail-proof glass. Dummy. You think about that. He's got the common sense that we just don't have anymore.
It's over our heads.
So not only do people die during January 6th and Trump doesn't give a fuck, but he's still forcing people, and Fox News, and One America and all these other fucking news outlets and the Republican caucus are still spewing this shit out because it's in their self-interest to get views, to get votes, to get whatever. And people are dying over this now. We've gotten to the point where people are fucking dying because they believe in something that's not factual.
Yeah, but
it's a truth to them.
But you're not saying the reality of the situation, which is our elected officials who are Republicans don't give a single fuck about anyone in this country, especially their voters, unless they're not voting for them. Then they start to care.
Right.
But this kind of shit where they spew bullshit out to the news media, the news media sends that out to the people. They don't give a fuck about this guy who shot up the FBI field office.
And died.
Because they don't care about him.
No, he's just a pawn.
They'll denounce him. It's just
I don't even think they'll denounce him. I don't even think so.
It's just like when Trump,
say it's Antifa.
It could be.
Yeah.
Black Lives Matter. This guy was really into it.
That's always the excuse when one of their people does something horrendous. It's like, oh my God, he was actually Antifa. Even though, he's out there fucking sporting a MAGA hat, got a big old MAGA flag hanging off his back like a goddamn cape. Like, oh yeah, that's totally Antifa right there. Everybody knows Antifa supports Trump.
Oh yeah.
I mean, come on. So that's the whole point of him, right?
He was a undercover Antifa. So he had to make it look like he was Trump, one of God's soldiers.
So people are dying for stuff that isn't factual because people in control have self-interest and they're all about themselves, and it really
because we
pisses
don't
me off.
hold politicians to account for lying.
No, because we're on this team. We should be on Team Us. But we're either on Team Republican or Team Democrat, and fuck them, and it's just absolutely ridiculous. And we've gotten to the point where there is no facts. You believe what you want. or what's in your ether, whatever's surrounding you, the people that are talking
There
to
are
you, or
facts.
what do you? There are facts. That's
There's-
what I always say.
What you're saying is there's no real objective truth anymore.
No objective truth. Everybody has a belief of the truth, or
Which is
I
why
don't know.
beliefs are so dangerous. Good ideas can be changed. Beliefs almost never get changed. And that is the single worst part of organized religion, is when society evolves, when we advance,
Right.
our beliefs don't advance with us.
So this is going to be generational. We're going to have these nutbags out there that believe this stuff. It's never going away.
Oh, once the boomers are all fucking 6 feet under, obviously, naturally speaking, because we don't condone violence here. But once those cocksuckers are in the ground,
Right.
I have a feeling this country is going to start to change, because there's only so long that you can continue this charade after the main driving force, the generation that believes this bullshit wholeheartedly,
Mm-hmm.
before they disappear. You just can't continue it on afterwards, because once everybody's racist fucking uncle who always convinced everybody about this shit at family gatherings is gone,
Mm-hmm.
you're probably not going to hear a whole lot of it anymore. And the few and far between of the younger generation that believe this bullshit, like some of the people who work with us at Kaiser,
A lot.
I think you're going to start to see them falling out of that mindset when they're not exposed to these kind of off the walls ideas with the frequency that they currently are. I think you're going to find that they care now and they're enthusiastic about it now.
Mm-hmm.
But pretty soon, once they're not exposed to it as much, once they're not being fed the constant bullshit, I think you're going to see them start to just not care anymore.
So when is Fox News the #1 cable show or cable network? When are they going to stop espousing this stuff?
Oh, they probably will never.
So when are people?
But once the people who the public clings to,
Mm-hmm.
the faces you think of when someone mentions Fox News,
Mm-hmm.
once they're gone, I have a feeling it's not going to have the same influence over people, because like Trump is a cult of personality, that applies to the people who are at, the top echelons of Fox News. There's a cult of personality around a lot of these people who have their own shows and, have their followings. And I think that's the main problem with what's going on the right now, is they've anchored themselves to these people. But like Trump, I don't care what you think about him on a personal level. He's old. He's not healthy. He's not long for this world. And once he's gone, what do you think fucking Eric,
Don Jr.
the fucking dipshit of the family, is going to take over the mantle?
He looks semi-retarded, doesn't he?
Yeah. I mean, you got to think about this. Once Trump's gone, who's going to continue his bullshit in his name?
Ivanka.
Because DeSantis is essentially
I would
a
vote for
competitor
Ivanka.
for Trump.
He's got a
She's
big
so fucking
family.
hot.
He's got a lot of family members. If you go 8 years, each Trump family member, we could have Trumps in office for,
yeah, but we're
40
not,
years.
because none of them have the charisma. None of them are like, a fucking duck where everything just slides off of them.
What about Kanye? Kanye had the most charisma out of any president elect that we've ever had.
Why do
now
we
that
bring up
was ever
Kanye?
elected.
He's crazier than Trump.
He couldn't even get on the ballot in most states
I had to write him in.
because he fucked up
Yeah.
with his submissions.
Yeah. Oh,
I
didn't know
mean,
that. That's crazy.
So, at least, say what you want about Trump, but at least he was competent enough to get on the ballot in all 50 states. Kanye wasn't even competent enough to get on a quarter of the states in the U.S.
Because Roger Stone's he's fucking pretty together. He drove this whole fucking thing.
Okay, I gotta say, anyone who has a giant fucking tattoo of Richard Nixon on their back,
wait a minute.
not a reliable source of information.
Does
I'm
he-
just
wait,
No,
putting it-
we're not
putting that out
asking him
there.
to be a
So-
reliable source, but he's a political. I'm going to say
Hack?
No,
Moron?
He got fucking Trump
Dipshit?
elected.
I mean, didn't he have to get a pardon from Trump so he wouldn't sit his ass in jail for a
No.
couple years?
Well,
I mean, come on. How can you say these people are competent?
he
Or
was a political insider with massive power for years, Taylor. What are you talking
yeah,
about?
I understand that. And then
And he got
then he
Trump
stuck his
elected,
name
basically.
to Trump, and
Well, everybody who sticks their name to Trump fucking does it. Yeah, it's
I had
beautiful.
no idea.
It's beautiful.
That's wonderful.
fucking ridiculous. I mean, really.
Taylor's just fucking on Reddit jacking off to that.
Richard
Just,
Nixon.
oh God, yeah.
I mean, there's a reason why he's like the only president to resign his office. That's because he literally did something that would have gotten him impeached. And instead of being a man and fucking sitting through the process and taking his whacks,
No.
he fucking quits so the next person can then fucking pardon him. I mean, the whole system is bullshit.
So
like the ability to pardon people who are clearly criminals.
Yeah.
Is just ridiculous.
So Nixon didn't want to go through the slog. He didn't want to bring the country down.
Oh,
you have
so he didn't want to accept the responsibility for his fucking actions.
No,
exactly like Trump.
Stop, Taylor. It's totally different. Somebody who's in there twice being impeached, who should be out, versus somebody who resigns because he doesn't want to cause this uproar in the country. Bill Clinton, it was the same fucking way.
There wasn't an uproar. The Republicans were in full fucking support of him being impeached. It wasn't like it was splitting the nation. Everybody was in agreement.
They went to him and they talked to him, and he said, "Yes, this is the best interest of the country. I'm going to resign."
And made a fucking deal so he wouldn't get in trouble afterwards.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter, though, because that kind of shit is the reason why Trump thinks he can do the things he does now and get away with it.
Trump, you really think he studies history or anything? No,
I think
Trump
the people
is a
around
dipshit.
him that advocate his actions.
Wow, today is just
study
gonna kill
history.
Me. Just gonna kill me.
He may not have the info, but the people around him do to a certain extent.
You need to smoke some more pot before you come on the podcast.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus fucking Christ. All right. So anyways, my point being is we have this group of people that have been propagandized. Their truth is that whatever it is, there's pedophilia ring in Washington D.C. Well, if you want to take care of pedophilia, start at the local level and work your way up. Let's not have people dumped off in Spokane because they don't want pedophiles anywhere else. So if you're worried about like something like that, man, their truths are fucked up. They're not looking at facts, and that's kind of what I wanted to bring up.
When you're staring down facts that force you to actually think about your life, question your actions and your faith.
Right.
9 times out of 10, these people are going to reject the facts because they don't want to have to consider that they may be wrong, that their beliefs may be wrong, because then you get into the territory where these people start having existential crises. And most of them can't tolerate that. They can't take it, having to consider that they're wrong. They don't want to be wrong, and
everything they've believed is wrong.
Yeah,
I get a lot of, well, what about Hunter Biden's laptop? Well, let's focus on what we're talking about. Let's not go to a different. Sure, Hunter can go to jail. I don't give a fuck. He's probably being protected by his dad. I don't give a fuck. We're focusing on this right now. Well, what about Hillary? Hillary's nowhere around. I don't give a fuck about Hillary. Let's talk about what's on the books right now. What we're talking about. What's in front of us. Well, what about this? I don't give a fuck. We're talking about this issue right here. Well, what about this? They always want to deflect and go somewhere else, and it fucking kills me. So I get to the point where discussion's over. I can't talk to you. This is just fucking stupid because we can't debate the point that's in front of us. Yeah, right. It's absolutely stupid.
Well, and you know what's ironic about this whole situation?
It's going to be the Trump episode.
Home being raided, and it came out yesterday that there's potential nuclear secrets involved in the things they were looking for there. But this whole situation, like you were saying at the beginning,
right?
If Trump wanted to clear the air, he could have released everything.
No, but he wants to muddy it up.
Exactly. He wants to fundraise off of this.
Oh, it could be.
He wants to rile up his people so they think that they are being existentially threatened by the deep state, the left, the libs, whatever. When in reality, this is just a part of how government functions. When you take files that aren't yours, that belong to the American people,
Right.
especially if they're classified files, the government comes for you. That's just how these things work. And the ironic thing about this whole situation is after this happened with Hillary Clinton, classified files were found on her private server and all that stuff. Trump signed a law bringing the punishment for this shit from a misdemeanor, 1 to 3 years, I think. And now it's a felony with up to 5 years in prison as the penalty.
Right.
So if it's found out that Trump actually committed a crime by retaining these classified files when he shouldn't have, he could actually be sentenced to prison time that was increased by his own hand. So he wanted to make a point. He wanted to show he was tough on this kind of shit when it was Hillary Clinton who was potentially going to be in trouble by this. But now it's him. You know, of course he's going to say, oh, this is a nothing burger. You know, they planted evidence, you know, this, that, and the other thing. He's going to deflect. And then he's going to project like they always do.
Like
so,
they always, like he does.
No, the Republicans
you're
almost
grouping them.
Always.
You're grouping
the terrorists.
You can't group Trump in as his own little island in the middle of the ocean. He is a Republican. Despite the fact that he was a Democrat, donated to the Clintons and all this other shit in his history, currently he's a Republican. And currently he's still the head of the Republican Party.
Right. So if you're a business, just to go off what you say, if you're a business owner and like New York is controlled by Democrats, you're obviously going to align with Democrats. So I think he's a nothing.
Or you can move.
No, because his business was in New York, so he wanted to pander to them. It's just the way it works. It's business. So if the New York was controlled by Republicans, he would have been pandering to the Republicans at the time. Trump is his own body. He doesn't give a fuck left or right.
He built his tower when he was still technically a Democrat, though, right? Before he switched to going.
Could have been Taj Mahal. I don't.
Republican Party.
Yeah, I think that was a nature of aligning with Roger Stone when he became a Republican. I don't know. Don't care. Okay, so my next one was, since you brought it up, the nuclear secrets, which is insane. But if you go back, Rick Perry was trying to, because he's in charge of that part of the government, he was trying to sell nuclear information to Saudi Arabia, right? You looking this up?
Not that they would ever blame Trump if Trump went to prison. They just blame the FBI.
He was the guy who was in charge of the energy department. Okay.
So Saudi Arabia says, yeah, we want some nuclear plants. We need some secrets. We need to learn how to do this. So he pushes for it. So it doesn't go through. Congress kind of stalls him, so on and so forth. Trump gets in there. It's a go, baby. The interesting thing is Jared Kushner got $2 billion. $2 billion.
From the Saudis.
From the Saudis.
The people who literally funded 9/11. I mean,
the people who funded 9/11.
But we love them.
Bush?
Because they have the oil.
And
because they hate Iran. They hate the same people that we're supposed to hate in the Middle East or some shit like
Brown
that.
People.
So, I don't know what secrets got or what got through, what got approved. But it's interesting if they wanted to go further with enriching uranium, having better bombs or whatever. It's interesting how Kushner gets $2 billion, Trump gets out of office, but he might have nuclear secrets. They just had a Saudi Arabian golf tournament in New Jersey where they buried his wife on the golf course. It's just all interesting. It's just, what the fuck is going on here? Did he take those secrets to go and sell even more secrets to Saudi Arabia so now they can build a ballistic missile or something?
His wife's dead body.
Exactly.
The whole deal with Saudi Arabia wasn't about weapons.
No, it was about
about building power plants, nuclear power plants.
Wink, wink.
I mean, I understand that that's what everybody in the public has been told. I don't know. I don't think I've ever heard anything about, it was actually about building nuclear weapons. But yeah,
But the byproduct is plutonium, right?
You wouldn't want someone who is proven to be hostile towards the American people to have any sort of radiological material, whether it's being used to generate power or whether it's used to decimate cities.
So I think the reason it got fucked over by Congress the first time because they were willing to sell some secrets to them was because Saudi Arabia would not get into the Non-Proliferation Act. They refused to do that. So Congress, I believe that's why Congress put a kibosh on it the first time, until Trump got in there and pushed the energy deal through. Kushner gets fucking $2 billion for his equity company, his new equity company to start up and all this other bullshit.
God, I wish I was a businessman.
Kushner's great. Do you remember his father went to prison for tax evasion? But he also, I believe, his father was the one.
Chris Christie was the one that put him there, right?
Chris Christie was, but
which is why Kushner wanted fucking Christie out of the White House whenever he was in there with Trump.
It was but his father also didn't he try to set up his brother-in-law in a sex scandal? I believe he did.
I don't know.
But it's just insane. So you've got this Trump being the mogul in New York with his towers. You got the Kushners kind of doing the same thing. Kushner's prison time, Trump about to be in prison time. It's just very interesting. Do you know that why they buried his wife on the golf course?
No.
It was only a moment ago when I heard that mentioned anywhere.
Oh, you haven't heard that?
I have no fucking clue what you're talking about.
So his wife fell down the stairs.
Who?
Trump's wife.
His old one.
His ex-wife.
Oh.
From like 1987 or something.
Yeah, we talked about this in the last podcast. She fell down the stairs.
Is this the one he
we
raped?
talked about this at work.
Ivanka. Oh, not with Taylor.
Yeah.
Okay.
We didn't talk about it, Taylor.
So she falls down the fucking stairs. I believe she fell down the stairs and she had blunt force trauma to her head. Which is interesting in itself. But anyway, so where did they choose to bury her? On Trump's New Jersey golf course. Why would you bury the beloved wife of yours on a fucking golf course?
Especially in New Jersey. That's the worst state you can bury someone in.
It turns out there is no limitation on corpses for tax breaks. So if you have one corpse, so basically you become a cemetery. You become a cemetery.
Fuck.
You get to avoid property tax, sales tax.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, in New Jersey.
Fucking kidding me.
There's no limitation. Like if you only have one fucking corpse there, boom. So he buries his wife on the fucking golf course to avoid fucking taxes. Are you fucking kidding me?
I could see like
what a scuzzy fuck. Go ahead, Andrew.
The casket coming up on like hole 8 and she getting pelted with golf balls after she's deceased.
God forbid, like there's a flood, right? And everything starts to, all of a sudden you see the skeleton of Ivanka.
Hole in one.
I think she got fucking cremated, but oh my God, I could not fucking believe that. This guy is such a scuzzy fucker.
Yeah, I had never heard of that.
Good for him. He knows how to work the system.
He definitely knows how to work it. Who knows if she's even buried there? She might not be buried there. Might be the family secret that she's somewhere else.
Might just be an urn sitting in the clubhouse.
No, they got a plot.
They actually have a plot.
They have a plot, yeah.
Wow.
Did he like his ex-wife?
Yeah.
Were they good friends?
I believe so. She's the one who kind of got him to soar. If you watched any of the documentary, she's a really strong woman.
You know what they could do is just turn her ashes into like golf clubs. And it'd be like every time I use the golf clubs,
there's a little piece of ash in each golf course.
Ash, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that would be great.
That'd be just good for a memory.
You super read it. I'm surprised you didn't see any of that. This is fucking amazing.
I didn't see any of this on Reddit either.
I don't actively search out things about Trump.
Oh, neither do I.
Because the more I learn about him,
like
the more angrier I get. Because
this is great.
The more you learn about his history, the more you actually look into what he believes, which is basically nothing. He doesn't believe in anything. He doesn't believe in God.
He believes in whatever was going to make him money and
give him
power.
He believes in his own self-interest. And once you actually start to see that pattern and you accept that that's who he is, the fact that everybody else can't see that and is just blind to it is just the most infuriating fucking thing in the world.
So here's her plot on the golf course.
Wow, that seems like it was super half-assed. Like it literally
look at how the dead grass on his golf course, which Do you think he'd ever have grass on his actual green? Any dead grass?
Man, that's so good.
He's got to hire the most Mexican immigrants to fix his lawn.
It's just like, oh my god, you are the best. This is you. If you're gonna be a scumbag, be the biggest fucking best scumbag you can be. That's what I'm gonna do. I wonder if that applies in Spokane County, because if my wife or anybody dies, like my parents, they're getting buried in my backyard. No more tax, no more property taxes on my house, no more sales tax or any of that shit. So he goes to sell that fucking golf course. He gets all the proceeds. Every year he doesn't have to pay taxes on the fucking thing. This is a beautiful thing. Smart.
I've got a good idea, good business idea.
Yes.
I just need a small loan of $1 million to
start
really
her
kick
up.
it into gear.
What is it?
We buy the golf course over here,
Okay.
and we turn into a cemetery. I turn into a real douchebag whenever I drive by that golf course, and
Which golf course?
all the scummies out there. SFCC golf course.
Oh,
The one
yeah,
that's
yeah.
right over there. I don't remember what it's called.
Downriver.
Because it's such a nice looking golf course, and then you go down to the downriver
Disc
frisbee
golf.
golf course.
Just golf.
I don't know if you've ever been over there.
Love it.
Oh, it's scummy.
No, they've got.
Broken bottles and trash, and
Well, that's
and,
because of
like
us.
people having sex with like the golf, like
That's because
nets
of
and all
us,
that.
though.
It's weird.
It's just the people down there are all hipsters and stuff like that. It's just like
yeah, not the Republicans on the golf course. They keep theirs nice and shiny. I mean,
yeah,
us
it's because we're
Democrats,
scuzzy fucks. We don't have no money.
us libturds.
But there's this one hole where you're just up on the bluff and you got to throw down over 2 holes, and it's a ginormous throw.
I got 2 frisbees stuck in the same tree.
You did.
I did.
From that one,
Yes,
the over. Oh yeah.
I've never gotten a frisbee stuck in a tree, but
Did you throw into the river at all?
I threw it onto the riverbank, and then I threw it back, and I cut it.
Yeah.
And it just went directly into a tree, and I couldn't get them down.
So some of the holes are right along the river, and I've lost a couple drivers in the river, which really pissed me off because they were some of my favorite drivers.
You always want to use a crappy driver you don't really like on yeah.
But I don't have that many discs, so I just have the shit that I like.
I have 2 fewer discs now. I wrote my name on them, so I'm expecting a text,
Yeah, well, yeah, you got to put your
Number.
social on there,
social address,
address, and your phone number.
bank account information.
Yeah, Taylor, what do you got about all this bullshit?
About golf, I ain't got shit.
No, what did you bring to the table? You said there was tons of shit to
I mean,
talk
we're
to.
talking about it.
All right.
We're a fucking former president's home, something that's never happened in the history of this country, was raided by the FBI
Right.
with and the thing about it is crazy because the person who's in charge of the FBI right now is someone Trump appointed.
Republican.
The judge who signed off on the warrant
Jeffrey Epstein's.
is someone that Trump
Magistrate.
appointed.
Right.
So
The guy who signed off on it.
I-
Pedophiles.
I don't even understand how anybody can look at this. I mean, what do they think? Do they think that these 2 people that Trump heavily supported at one point in time have suddenly they've been taken over by the deep state? They've been flipped by Merrick Garland, like the least charismatic, most boring motherfucker in the existence of the Department of Justice? I mean, honestly, like you need to take a fresh look at the situation, because this kind of shit
Mm-hmm.
with former presidents, I mean, arguably this could have happened to Bush. I mean, because there were definitely some instances where the things he did and the people around him probably committed crimes. And yet nothing happened. No one went after him. So the fact that this is happening, the fact that we're here right now, his home's been raided, this process has been going on for what, like 6-9 months, back and forth between the DOJ, the FBI,
Mhm.
and Trump and his staff.
At least 6 months, right?
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah.
This has happened, and at some point, people need to wake up and realize that there's no way they took this situation lightly. There's no fucking way that Merrick Garland, the FBI, and this judge are half-assing this. I mean, because we already lived through January 6th. They saw what happened when Trump riled up a bunch of people. They knew that the action of raiding his house, I mean, legally searching his house with the permission of a judge would elicit a response from his supporters, and that shit might get crazy. So they're not going into this unaware of the potential consequences, and yet here we are. They've done it. They did it. So I think people need to start taking a look at the situation and saying, while I still support Trump and I, think he's God, king, or whatever the fuck these people believe he is, they have to realize that he broke a law, or at least he was suspected of breaking a law to the point where all of the ducks got lined up perfectly for this to happen. You can't keep your head in the sand and keep saying, "Oh, they're just unduly going after him. They're just vilified. They're trying to keep him from running for president again." No, they thought that there was enough evidence involved.
I believe they were
to believe he committed a fucking crime, and that's why this is happening.
So I believe. I don't know if this is true, but I believe that they were tipped off. So they were.
That's what the reporting says.
I know, but they were in the process of trying to get the documents back,
and they were having a back and forth between the presidential records.
The archives,
the National Archives.
National Archives.
And at some point, they believed that they weren't getting what they were requesting, which is when the FBI got involved. And the FBI did their thing, and eventually they realized that they might not be cooperating, and that's when the DOJ got involved. And when they finally fucking realized, after all this back and forth with these people, that he wasn't being honest with them, that he wasn't giving them everything that they thought he had, eventually, like you said, somebody tipped them off and gave them they don't do things based on a hunch. They know there are documents there that he shouldn't have, which is why they went in and grabbed them. They're not doing all of this on a whim.
I get you.
So, it's like when they always tell you, don't lie to the FBI. If you lie to the FBI, when they ask you a question, they already have the fucking answer. They're just waiting for you to lie because then they can charge you with one more fucking thing. They already know the answers, people. They're now figuring out.
They all do that.
We're not being interviewed by the FBI, so what do we have to care about it?
No, but you do have to care about it.
Is the FBI a different type of thin blue line than the cops are?
Apparently. Because Republicans in the House and Senate are all screaming at the goddamn hills about, we got to defund the FBI.
Okay, so
they don't see how fucking ironic it is that they are now on the exact same level as Antifa.
Yeah.
The people who wanted to defund the police departments in Seattle and Portland, the Republican Party is literally towing the exact same line that they are.
So the FBI...
we live in the worst fucking timeline. This is literally the worst dimension in the goddamn multiverse because it's so fucking ridiculous.
I grew up during the 80s and it was the best time. FBI is national. So they have jurisdiction within the borders of the United States. When you talk about cops, they're regional. So in whatever area they're in, CIA is outside of the United States. It's supposed to be outside of the United States.
NSA is fucking everywhere.
So that explains to you. Well, they're tracking everybody. They're tracking everybody all the time in the world. That was quite the rant.
Well, I'm just saying
That was a 10 out of 10.
Is a new game you're playing called Multiverse?
It's so fucking bizarre.
Have you played Multiverse?
I have a little bit. I didn't like it.
Oh, Zach and Nick love it.
It's bizarre that we're here.
Yeah.
Because I would have never fucking expected that the Republicans would be screaming, we've got to defund the police. But that's exactly what they're saying, except instead of, Antifa saying it on a very, very limited local level, the Republicans are now saying we should defund literally the federal police. The police for the entire nation, they're saying that we need to shut this shit down. And it's bonkers. It's fucking insane. It would be absolutely goddamn hilarious if it weren't so fucking pathetic and scary.
I mean, if we defund the FBI, they'll send more. They've got ways to make money.
They'll just make another acronym up, and we'll start, enforcing the law with them.
They'll sell more coke to Chicago.
No, the problem with that is if you
run some more guns down to Mexico,
they'll find ways to make money.
That's the CIA. That's the CIA. Fuck, man.
I don't know. It's just we live in the weirdest fucking time right now because you've got one political party that swings so fucking wildly from side to side. I mean, like, sit down and look at like the laws they've passed, especially when it comes to like taxes. There's no physical conservative Republicans anymore.
No.
And they literally have no beliefs because they swing so wildly on issues now. I mean, one day they believe one thing, the next day they believe the exact opposite, and I don't understand how their people can just, like, the mental gymnastics. Like, I mean, I must be giving less credit to conservatives than I should be because their mental elasticity must be just insane that they can adjust their fucking mindset to this shit as quickly as it changes.
So whatever you talk to somebody who watches a lot of Fox News, they just repeat talking points. They do whatever they're told. It's very interesting that we're called snowflakes and sheep, but
they get offended at the slightest little thing.
They get offended at the slightest little thing, but
they get offended when guys kiss each other. They get offended when somebody protests outside of the home of an elected official. They get fucking bent out of shape when...
But when women kiss each other, it's okay.
It is.
Yeah.
Objectively, I think that's just a fact.
Well,
I mean, come on.
I know, but I'm still offended by you can see a man nipple, but you can't see a dirty woman's
I know.
nipple.
But that's just the hypocrisy of life. I mean, essentially. But... I don't know.
And you couldn't make money off it if they didn't hide their nipples, their big, beautiful round nipples.
This whole thing is so crazy.
Saucer plates.
It's so nuts.
Do you have a preference on the nipples, the areola?
I do.
I mean,
you do.
Yeah.
What do you like?
They've got to be like plate sized,
like octagons,
saucers.
Like are we talking like hard edges, or do you like them like circular?
I don't like the hard edges.
No? Have you ever seen a hard edge nipple?
Yeah, they're gross.
They're fantastic.
You love those.
They're the best I've ever seen.
What about...
They gotta have like eraser nipples too. They stick out like
huge ones,
like 3 inches.
Oh,
yeah.
I have a story about that.
I have tiny nipples.
Oh yeah.
We're not talking about male nipples. What are you talking about?
You can't. No, that's sexist. If you're
I don't give
talk
a fuck
about nipples, you
I
gotta
don't
lump
care.
them all in
I
there.
don't care
How
about
could
your
you be
nipples.
so just insensitive.
I know.
I can't believe
the
you.
fuck is
dick.
wrong with you?
So there was this girl that was trying to get with me in high school, and
what was her name? First and last.
Kim. I don't remember her last name. And her sister actually came up to me afterwards when I got back to school and said I was being not nice because you hit it and quit it or whatever. So then I started dating her sister. But really, it was fucking ridiculous. But anyway, so
bad move.
So I'm out with my friend Steve, and you don't know about this. Do you know about Riverside back in the day? Where you go cruise Riverside. So cruising Riverside before they shut it down because there was too much fun happening by teenagers, and we want to isolate them inside their house. Riverside used to be a place where you'd go down there and the cars would go like 1 mile an hour, and you would talk to each other as you'd pass each other. So all these teenager kids were all up and down Riverside, and then you do the loop and you come back. And then when you get hungry, you'd go up to Dick's, you'd meet up, you'd get something to eat, and then you go out to the keg or whatever party was happening. Okay, anyways, so I'm downtown with my friend Steve, and we're walking Riverside, and Kim spotted me. So we go and we hop in the back of the truck, like 3 of us guys.
And were you banging her sister at this point?
No, I wasn't banging anybody at this point. Kim wanted me. Anyways,
so this was pre-Kim.
This is yeah. So
Kim, pre-Kimmed in his pants,
jumped in the truck. So I get in the back of the truck, and I remember it must have been September, October, because my hands were super cold. So anyways, 3 girls in the cab. So the girl, Kim, tells me to get in there with her because my hands are cold. Okay. So I get in to the cab of the truck, and me being me, my long-haired asshole that I was back then, the first thing I do is I take both my hands. Kim's on my lap. It was a Toyota truck, so I believe both girls were on my lap. I don't remember the name of the other girl.
See, now he's just fucking bragging.
But
Now
anyways,
he's
penetrating
just,
both
now he's
of them
just
at the
trying
same
to
time.
remind us
This
of how
is- this
much
is-
a hot fuck he was
No, this-
30 years ago.
oh god,
Don't
this is a
Google
great
bump,
story.
please.
Anyway, so both girls are sitting on my lap because it's a 2-seater. It's one of the small Toyota trucks, and I go, and obviously they're going to let me do whatever I want. So I put my hand down.
Because it's Dwayne.
I put my hand down
Obviously.
Kim's shirt, and I start playing with her titty, right? And I'm feeling around for a nipple, like maybe it's slow or something. But like, if I go to grab Taylor's nipple right now, I'm on it. I can fucking through his shirt, I'll get it. Like I can get yours right now too. Boom, boom, no problem. And I'm searching around for it, and I don't feel it. So I feel an indent, and so she's got those nipples that are fucking sucked in, right? Which is cool. I don't care about that. I'll suck them fuckers out and bite them. It doesn't matter to me. But I go, and this girl that I don't know, I go and she just allows me to put my hand down her shirt too. And I swear to God,
He grew up in a different time.
I swear to God, her nipples were like that fucking long. Not an eraser. They were over like an inch and a half. And I'm just thinking there, well, because I'm drunk.
Is it Doc?
I'm going, why can't you like give some to Kim? That was my whole idea. Anyways, I ended up sleeping with the driver that night. I didn't sleep with Kim that night. It was funny because I went to my parents were living in a trailer. My parents were living in a trailer, and to avoid the loud noise, because back then being 16 years old, you think you're gonna be like the stud, just the
Dwayne fucks.
which apparently.
I'm listening to the same story you are.
So anyways, I go back to the house and I remember putting on a record, and what would happen was
All right, what's your record?
it was Asylum by Kiss.
Is this going to be like a skipping
No,
story?
it got to the end of it, and then it would pick up and it'd come back and start over. So my dad came in the room. So my friend Steve, my best friend at the time, his name was Lyle.
Hold on. How many people are fucking in this room?
He was just laying on the floor. He was laying on the floor while I was banging this chick in the bed. Anyways,
Pass her to me.
so my dad comes in and he goes, you need to take the music off. And I stop mid-stroke, right? And he goes, who's in bed with you? And I go, because my best friend at the time is Lyle, but Lyle wasn't there. I go, it's Lyle. And my dad goes, Lyle's not in the bed with you. Who's in bed with you? It was a fucking stupid story, but yeah. How is it possible that somebody has 1.5 long nipples, maybe 2-inch nipples, and the other ones, they were indented, and it was like, long story for nothing. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I was going to
Thought
say,
on both of those.
how is it we listened to 5 minutes of story for...
She had
Yeah, it was
Okay.
4 minutes
10
and 45
seconds of
seconds of
payoff.
Dwayne talking about banging two chicks
I
at
know.
the same time.
I
Hold
know,
on.
all to get around to the point of, wow, this chick had weird nipples.
Well, it's because we were talking about nipples. Anyways, so when I finally did get with Kim the following week,
The inverted nipples.
the inverted nipples,
It's hard to keep track anymore.
she was kind of pasty white like my wife, but she had like these ghosty nipples. Like you could barely see her nipples. Like they were there if you looked at them, but they were kind of like transparent. Like you couldn't really see them. And then she had the inverted.
I knew,
you
a
had to-
I knew a girl growing up who had 3 nipples.
What?
Oh, yeah?
Not like 3 breasts, but like had a 3rd nipple.
Yeah. Where
yeah.
was that at?
Where was that
Yeah,
at?
where was that nipple
Just-
at?
Spokane Valley.
Like right here.
Right in the middle?
Not in the middle.
Did
like
you-
off center, I guess.
Did you suck on it?
Did
No,
it have any sort of feeling? Do you know?
I don't know.
Oh,
I wonder
okay.
if it's
She
still
was
active.
just. She was
I can't
just.
imagine it's
She
hooked
was
up.
someone I knew. She was not someone I was overly friendly with, and
That's
she
too
was
bad.
not some person whose shirt I randomly reached down in
Yeah, wait.
in the 80s. So
No, this is 89, something like that.
that's the 80s.
Yeah.
A lot of free love, you hippie.
Apparently,
It's never changed.
Stick your hand
It's never
in someone
changed.
else's.
oh, it's changed because now you've got Me Too, and
Now
all,
you've got to
and-
sign a contract
now,
before you can
now
even
you've
look
got
at a
the
woman.
internet. Now you've got all that other shit
Right.
going on, and
So
You got to
all of
subscribe to the OnlyFans. to have
all of
sex
this
with
is bullshit. So if let's say there's a chick here, and somebody she doesn't find attractive comes up and hits on her, that's a problem. But if a good-looking dude comes up and hits on her, it's a totally different
them.
story.
You always talk about how you weren't a good-looking dude.
Pretty average, still pretty average. So
2 chicks, you had to have been like Ryan Gosling hot,
Yeah.
or just a good personality. So
yeah, well,
Taking
that's
things
quite
have
obvious because
changed
we have
because
36
keep in
subscribers.
mind he might have been the Ryan Gosling of the 80s.
Yeah,
No, I wasn't.
Like we keep saying, different time.
you go on Tinder and it's no one under 6'2", or
What do you mean no one under 6'2"?
it's like that's requirements now
On Tinder?
because girls have so much access to, whatever they want. They're very specific in what they actually
So
are looking for.
I'm going to say somebody I know, my niece. I'll just throw that out there. She used to go and do that, and she's in a relationship now, so I'm super happy for her. But I'm going to say that she's above average. But
I don't think you can say that.
She's not all-star status. But when you have,
I mean, what are we defining as all-star status?
I'm going to say she's a 6.
Okay.
Okay.
That's average, right?
I mean, given the
5 would
United
be
States average is like, yeah,
low 3s.
low 3s,
So-
maybe low 4s, like in certain states.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
New York,
6
California.
6 is like a fucking bomb. I mean,
But what women
Jesus.
have to deal with is they're going to get lied to because a guy wants to fuck them, right? So I can't tell stories on here about her that my daughter's told, but so
Bleep them out.
yeah, we'll bleep them
Chop
out.
them out.
just make something up real quick.
Women get an inflated idea of what they are because guys want to fuck them. And it's probably been true all the time, but it's more so now since there's a separation and they're talking to multiple people at once. So they have this inflated idea of what they are.
Well, and there's not nearly as big of a stigma about having multiple partners and just kind of banging who you want to bang when you want to bang
I know, but
them.
I don't think there was that. I didn't experience that.
Well,
'Cause,
I
like,
mean,
I
there was,
would
there was
have-
that
Yeah.
period in the late 80s through the early 2000s where, if you had sex with too many people, you were a slut. You were a whore.
I never found that to be a
And
problem.
I don't hear people I don't hear those terms
Your
being
purity
used even,
tied to your
even for
worth.
the most promiscuous people, not just women, people.
Yeah.
You don't hear people
It's
being
mostly
called
women.
sluts and whores. And I think it's just an evolution of, society, medicine's gotten better, there's not nearly
Medicine.
as big of fears as STDs, and there's testing and all this stuff. So you
Sure.
have the opportunity to safely sleep with multiple people
I think
over time.
Yeah,
I
but
mean, it's just, I think it's just society's gotten a little bit more, dare I say the word, liberal.
I think the whole fucking
know,
whore
right?
and slut thing was made up by guys with small dicks. That's what I honestly
You mean
think.
like the pre-evolution to like the incel movement of modern day?
No, because I
The
think
guys who were just so fucking out there and so undesirable, like not just physically but mentally, that no one wants to fucking fuck them. So they just get mad and angry.
Well, they
and-
get a perverse view on sex anyways just by watching porn all the time.
well.
Like, when I
and-
go home
and-
and I expect a woman to be stuck in my washing machine and it doesn't work out, I'm going to go on 4chan and message boards and say, oh, women are scum also,
yeah. If
well,
you,
and then there's also the political aspect of it, where one political party seems to think that women are nothing more than fuck dolls,
holes.
pregnant barefoot in the kitchen, like you said, doing the laundry,
You
hanging
can't get
around at
married in a
home.
white dress because you had sex before marriage.
When
You have
I
to
get
married
home
in a
after
green
work, I
dress.
better get sucked off, or else you're not doing your
Yeah.
wifely duty kind of
Beer,
shit.
turn on
Oh.
Fox News and start sucking me off.
It is what it is. Do you have a preferred nipple?
Do I have a preferred nipple?
Yes. What do you like looking at?
Oh, you mean as far as a
Not
preference
your
of
fucking
Well,
nipples.
that was a very vaguely worded question.
Dude, we've
Like,
been
if
talking
you
about
ask
fucking
me if
nipples
I
for
have-
fucking 20
you
minutes.
Ask me if I have a preferred nipple.
Yeah. What do you prefer?
That, to me, is asking me which of my nipples I prefer.
Oh god.
I have cone nipples.
My nipples are dead. so
All
I-
nipples are great.
Are your nipples
All-
sensitive?
No.
What do you mean your nipples are
No.
dead?
Yeah. We can go put fucking clamps on it right now. I feel nothing. Are yours sensitive?
They're still sensitive.
Wow.
Sure,
All
thank
nipples
God.
are great. All boobs are great.
Yeah.
Boobs are the greatest thing ever. I
Not-
mean, that's just
so
a fact of
That's
life.
not
Come
a
on.
fact for me. Because
Really?
Yeah, I think.
It's animalistic.
Like
still,
I do have a preference like regarding size.
Yeah. What size?
Like once you get over like a single D,
yeah.
sorry, but your boobs are just, whether it's natural or
And they're
whether it's
pillows.
artificial, it's just too big.
and they're fluffy pillows.
But at the same
Dreams.
time, I don't think they can get too small.
Yeah.
Because depending on
What if they look like you?
what looks like
Like it
me,
just looks like a peck.
I don't care.
What if it's like a mirror image of your nipple? So when you're looking at her chest, you just see yourself.
I mean, it'd be
Little
really,
red hair up the middle.
It would be really weird for a woman to have chest hair literally fucking everywhere.
Oh, they're out
like,
there.
I mean, I take my shirt off and I'm halfway towards
Right
gorilla.
now, he's hair shaming.
Kind of have to see
Hair
that.
shaming.
So just I'm a hairy motherfucker.
Yeah,
That's
kind of.
just. I mean, granted, it's
There's some
light colored.
Look at
hair
this
and
shit
yeah,
out.
look at these tiny nipples. I mean, fuck.
Dude, they're kind of big.
No,
Those are
no,
average
what?
size nipples. I'm gonna say.
These are tiny nipples, dude.
I think
Mine are
those
Very,
are
small.
average.
very colorful.
Who's
though.
who's
I mean,
bigger?
look at that. Look, just brown and weird. And
Whose
I got
nipples are bigger?
Yours
nice
are longer.
pink nipples.
Yours are very round.
Yeah, he's got big
I don't
areolas.
know.
You got big areolas. Gross. You got saucer nipples.
If you say
So you don't care.
how small boobs are?
No, you don't care. You don't have a preference. You're just good with everything.
No, boobs are just great.
As soon as they
But
become
as soon as they reach a certain size,
Haven't you ever been with a chick every time you hit her, they just go
They're gonna knock you out on
no,
the backswing.
no, they just kind of fold over into their armpits, and every time you fucking move, they just go.
nah. But keep in mind, I've been married since what 2008.
Nah, I've been married a long time too.
So I mean,
Andrew, you preferred boobs?
Yeah.
I know, but what do you prefer?
see,
Boobs.
vaguely worded. I mean, he's
Nipples. What for the nipples do you prefer?
You ever seen Pete Davidson's nipples?
I have not,
He's got
because he's all tattooed up. So you can't really
prime
tell.
nips.
Yeah. So for female nipples, what do you prefer?
If Pete Davidson had a set of boobs,
Yeah.
like big ones,
Yeah.
like big mommy milkers,
Right.
like like massive honky donkeys,
Yeah. Bigger than
that'd be
D's.
what I prefer. No, it's whatever Amanda's got.
God,
whatever you
guys
classify
are
them as.
fuck. Boobs.
Amanda, I love you. Please come back.
yeah, boobs are just great in general.
I prefer. So there is more perfectly round with perfectly centered nipples that are perfectly the same size. I prefer ugly tits. What people would
Like ones
Deem-
that you look at and you like start questioning
Pointing
things.
this way, one's pointing towards
Like boobs that you talk
Antarctica.
about in conversation
Yeah, like-
because perfect nipples are so perfect. It's just like, yeah, those are great.
Yeah,
I've got
like-
nothing more to say on the issue.
Yeah, like my wife, she's got like perfect boobs, so everything's in the right spot. Right.
boring. You like
It's-
you have like
You like the
ADD.
nipples that are like the chameleon eyes, where you got one like fucking pointing over here, one looking up towards the ceiling and shit. Like, is that what we're talking about here?
I like a
work
difference.
done.
yeah.
I like a difference in the nipples. I think if it's like everybody wearing Nikes. If somebody wears a pair of Vans, I can appreciate that pair of Vans. Does that make sense?
I mean, why shoes?
If everyone's
why
a
would I-
superhero,
How
no
often
one
do you
is,
go
right?
around surveying people
No,
on
but
what shoes
I
they wear?
don't. But I'm just trying to give you an
But how
analogy that you can
often-
understand.
But it's an analogy that doesn't make any sense.
If everything is the same, but there's a
If
couple
everyone
that are
had
different, I would
perfect
prefer the
nipples.
ones that are different.
But nothing. But that
There-
doesn't make any sense either because not a majority of people's boobs are perfect.
They're more perfect
Everybody's
than not.
body is imperfect and different. I
Yeah.
mean, so you
They're
can't
more
you
perfect
can't
than not.
generalize and say, oh, yeah, 60-70% of the population, all your
How
fucking
many-
boobs are the same.
How many women have puffy nipples?
I don't know.
Like 1%?
38
No
million,
idea.
264,000.
No, like 1%. 1 or 2%. Let's look it up. How many? What's the percentage of puffy nipples for women?
Those are the 1%ers I keep hearing about.
That you haven't seen? I got a
Like,
fucking percentage
What's the definition of puffy nipples?
of women with
You're gonna get such a.
puffy.
It's not gonna tell you.
I mean,
put in
Google
piffy.
does know everything, far more than it should know, so it actually might have an answer to
No,
this.
let me
but
look through a
you can't just
million
say
webcams
you can't
right
just
now
say
and take a good
puffy
average.
because puffy means something different to everybody. What do you think puffy means?
I just think. Yeah,
Because I think of like
puffy
a
as
fucking
it
marshmallow.
slopes out.
I think of a marshmallow when I think of
I think
puffy.
that's too big.
Really?
Yeah.
But marshmallows come in all different sizes, just like boobs and nipples.
Have you seen those? You've never gone to the store and thought, "Hey, maybe I should get those."
What about those?
square,
What about
flat
those
marshmallows."
really dehydrated ones that come in the hot chocolate bags? Those are tiny.
Those are mosquito bites. Those are
Well, I
mosquito
mean,
bite
all I'm
nipples.
saying is puffy,
1 in 10 women is what a UK study
and
says.
the clinical term is puffy nipples.
Puffy.
Like
Puffy
they
nipples
actually-
is in quotes, but what's the actual
Puffy
scientific
nipples.
term?
What are they? Puffy nipples.
Go to images.
Oh fuck.
Time to get fully throttled on the
Men
podcast.
can get them too as well.
But calling them puffy nipples doesn't give me any sort of idea of what they are.
Well, yeah. How many women have you been with, Taylor?
I don't know. Like,
Take a guess.
how many women have I dated, or how many women have I slept with?
How many nipples?
How many nipples
seen?
have you seen?
17.
Well, but with the internet, that's a stupid question because I could see as many nipples
Okay,
as I
in
want.
person.
In person,
That's different, too, because
I'd
on stage-
say 6 or less over the course of my life. Probably less, actually. Yeah,
God damn it.
probably closer to like.
Come on, Google. Quit restricting
4.
me.
In person, not even just having sex with them.
Yeah, no, probably 4. No.
Okay.
There's a good shot of puffy nipples.
So you're talking about
those
like
are marshmallows.
where
I gotta
like,
go. I'll be right back.
Like the areolas are like elevated just like the nipple is off of the boob.
Yeah.
So that's what a puffy nipple is.
1 in 10.
I have never seen boobs like that before
'Cause
on
you've
the
only seen
internet
it.
or in person.
Okay, I've seen them in person.
So it must be like a fetish thing for people.
It's not a fetish thing. It's just
Yeah, that's right after she took off those suction cups.
Yeah, you see exactly. He knows what I'm thinking about here. It's like a
I don't watch
cosmetic
porn.
thing,
I
right?
don't watch porn.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Are puffy
inflation
nipples
porn.
natural things?
Yeah, it's just your hormone level, I believe, dictates it. Like with anything else.
Huh.
So I believe I haven't really looked into this, but that's just a guess on
Weird.
my part. No, it's not weird. It's okay to be unusual.
No, I'm just saying 1 in 10.
Yeah.
Like 1 in 10. You'd think I would have seen a puffy nipple at some point.
Dude, you're at 6.
10%.
You're at 6.
Well, probably closer to 4.
It says
but-
it's a UK study, so maybe like the humid air brings out the nipples. We just don't get that over here.
Seattle probably has a lot more puffy
should-
nipples. We need a
That's my
survey.
idea.
Survey.
We should ask. Yeah.
How many puppy nipples are in Seattle?
Anyone in Seattle right now, send your nipples in.
Because
We'll,
in
we'll tell 'em.
Spokane, where it's dry,
Mhm.
it could be 1 in 100.
It could be.
But he grew up in Seattle.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
But I
Everyone
didn't see
there
a whole
is-
lot of nipples while I was over there.
You got nipples when you came over here.
Well, I saw a few nipples,
Okay.
but not.
Did you see an odd
I'd
number of
say
nipples?
it's probably half and half, actually.
With
2 over there, 2 over here.
with
Okay.
with Tinder, have you seen puffy nipples before?
Like, do they advertise that kind of shit?
No, I
because,
just
because it's like a
Yes.
10% thing. They're
wa-
looking for the people who are interested in
It
the puffy
shows-
nipples.
Democrat, 5'6", puffy nipples.
Okay. I
So-
never
so how many
used
nipples have
any
you seen in
dating app
person?
or Tinder, so I have no idea what they fucking put on there.
how many nipples have you seen in person?
How many? I've probably seen maybe 10.
10.
Yeah,
Okay.
from 5 different
Kids
people.
these
So
days.
so it should be from 5
No,
different people.
no, it's
So 10.
probably 10.
10.
10 people's nipples.
Okay. And
People's or women's?
Probably 0 woman.
you just saw your nipple a few minutes ago. Neither one of us.
Yeah,
are puffy.
11.
Yeah.
about Dwayne's?
So 1 in 10.
We're up to
Yeah.
12 now.
You didn't get 1 out of that 10.
No.
Wow.
I don't inspect them. I
Well,
don't
but
think-
at
even
the
if they
same time,
did-
they say like 1 in 10 people are
What do you mean you don't inspect them? Are you a selfish
gay or
cocksucker?
lesbian. I mean,
You don't suck on the nipple?
immediately I can sense when a woman pulls up her shirt because I start drooling and immediately get my eyes.
Oh my God.
yeah, it must be a concentration being somewhere specific because, like I was just saying, 1 in 10 people are supposedly gay,
They
or
could-
lesbian, or bisexual, and I don't know a single fucking person
2. I think I've
that
seen 2.
that is gay, lesbian, bisexual, whatever the other letters are in the acronym. I don't fucking know.
Wow.
But I'm just saying that 1 in 10
Yeah,
may
it-
sound like a lot, but it's probably concentrated in a specific
San
area
Francisco.
where a certain genetic
It could.
anomaly has happened to
Hey,
the people
I'm
who
just
live
saying.
there.
I've seen
I don't
2.
know.
I've seen 2.
Puffy nipples.
Yeah, and
Oh.
it was definitely that percentage is off with me seeing 2.
Hmm.
So that percentage it seems really really high to
Why,
me.
have you seen like 60 nipples? Would you say 60 sets of nipples?
We're not going to go
Dude,
into how
anytime
many.
he got in the car with a woman, he stuck his hand down her shit.
Yeah,
He's
but I would-
probably seen hundreds of pairs of
We're-
nipples.
yeah, we don't need to go into how many
You read
nipples
them like
I've seen.
Braille.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. Puffy, not puffy. And double counted that motherfucker. So I seen 2 sets, but yeah, so that number seems 1 in 10 seems really high to me. That percentage, 1 in 10, really. I've seen 2 sets of puffy nipples in my days, and it's like, Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, that's what I prefer. If they like, she's fucking just perfect, right in the center, fucking perfect, everything fucking perfect.
Miserable.
But that's the majority of women are like,
but you
right in the middle.
I'm sure when you were 16, you're like, wow, those are the best looking pair of boobs I've
Yeah,
ever
I
seen.
was
I
gonna
love these.
say.
No,
I
it
was
was
gonna say when someone's
Yeah.
letting you touch their boobs,
Yeah.
I don't think your
That's
first
the
thought
best
is,
pair of boobs in the
are,
world
the,
at
are
that
these
moment.
normal?
No, like
yeah,
the
you're not evaluating
I
them.
read-
You're just happy to be there.
Right, 6 out of 10 on
my
a test.
my parents had moved back from Airway.
Don't worry, that's a compliment.
I've seen a lot of puppy nipples.
Yeah.
Those are the best puppies I've ever seen.
Only seen 2 sets, man. That's it. And it was just unusual when I saw them. I still remember.
Did you blurt out, "God, what the fuck are wrong with those"?
No, I did nothing like
She
that.
committed suicide later that
Did you
day.
even hold back like
The
your
laughter.
awe?
The
Well, not
laughter.
laughter. Might be startling to see him at
It
first. I
was.
don't think my first response would be to laugh. I'd be probably like,
Oh,
"What
no.
the fuck?"
That's rude.
What
No,
is
she
going
did the
on
same thing
there?
and he whipped out his dick.
You got a puffy dick.
You got a puffy
How do you have a puffy dick? Those are really unusual. 1 in 1,000.
Oh,
It's
you
just
got the third testicle. That's weird.
yeah, the puffy dick. But anyways, yeah. So if they're a little odd, misshapen, or if they're like the ones that are floaters, the floaters. Most women are kind of side hangers.
Torpedoes. They have a lot
The
of different
torpedo
types of
you don't
boobs.
have. Yeah, the torpedoes you just don't see very often.
No,
They're like
it's a
the
rare breed.
yeah.
Which is too bad.
So it's okay to be unusual. I dig it.
Can I bring up something I was told?
Yeah.
So my buddy
Which buddy?
Cody, the one that just DM'd for us,
Sure. Is he a Tinder guy?
he is, and Bumble and Plenty of Fish and
Wow.
Christian
Grindr.
Mingle and Grinder.
Christian Mingle. He
And,
seemed
and-
kind
and
of
Farmers Only.
Farmers
It's
Only.
everything. You got to try and expand your network.
right. You got to have irons in the fire.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get it. He was
Absolutely.
we were on a Discord call or in a Discord server together, and he heard a story from our other friend Christian. I'll bring his name up because I don't
Did
care.
he? Are you just? Is this avoidance? So you're trying to protect Cody?
No,
Okay.
this is Cody's the one that told me. He told me that Christian
Christian,
had this girl over
right?
and he was eating her out.
Ooh, did he know her?
I don't
Dude,
know.
okay. So what is like? You're on Tinder. You're on a first date,
Mhm.
right?
It's Tinder. It's for sex.
I understand that. So do you just go down on him? Is it just like there used to be a couple day
You take 'em to the
rule? You had to get
doctor
to know him,
first.
Well,
You gotta-
right?
you
wasn't
gotta
it,
inspect
wasn't
them.
it normally like 3 dates?
Something
And-
like that.
and
You
then-
got to get to
and then
know
you
him.
fuck or something?
No, you fuck right off the bat. But I'm saying,
Well, maybe
Of
for
course,
the I was gonna
Wayne
say
does.
that. Yeah,
no, I didn't.
Uber Chad.
I went out with my wife. So like my wife, she was one of the first ones that we went out on a date, and I didn't bang her that night. I had to wait until the following week.
Then he got married.
yeah.
No,
date was married.
There
no,
you
we
go.
lived together for 2 years before that. But yeah, I had to wait a week.
In sin. Anyways, he was eating her out and he didn't feel like eating her out anymore. So he went to the bathroom and started to pretend to throw up until she left. And I think that's the worst blow to someone's self-esteem
Yeah,
you could ever.
Wait, so hold on. Instead of just saying, "Hey, let's switch what we're doing because this is either getting a little tiring or disgusting," and instead he
Did he-
just blew her off.
That's what Cody said that Christian told him.
I don't think it's true.
I want it to be true
It'd be
because I know
nice.
Christian. I've hung out with we go on road trips all the time,
Yeah,
and that's exactly what I think Christian would do.
Is he
He's the type of
pretty?
person?
Like
No.
just to avoid the awkwardness.
Yeah. I would say he's an awkward.
But why
awkward
didn't he
fella.
just switch
because you
and
do
start
I
doing
know,
something
but
else?
okay, so I can testify.
Yeah.
Like if the point was, "Oh, I don't really feel like eating you out anymore."
Maybe she said no sex.
Well,
no
then,
way.
then he could have laid down and had her go down on
she
him.
was
Maybe he thought it was
unwilling
really
to-
gross.
Yeah, she was unwilling to peg him.
He's, yeah.
Christian, you pagan motherfucker.
Christian is having a lot of. He's seeing a lot of girls right now, but he's not like he's a. I don't know. He's a big guy.
Heavy.
He's pretty heavy. I think he's the heaviest.
have you talked to
heaviest
him-
friend I
Have
know.
you talked to him about his being obese?
No, about how being obese makes you just a bottom feeder, right?
Not a bottom feeder. I mean, that's
vagina
not what it
feeder.
is. You aren't concerned with his health.
No, I'm not concerned with this.
Okay. You hope he dies and gets diabetes, is what you're saying.
Not all big people are unhealthy.
Oh yeah, it's an epidemic.
Sure, it's an epidemic. I'm saying, if you go, you take a look at like that. Every example I'm going to bring up is a bad example because I
Okay,
can't
but
think
anyways,
of a
he's
healthy big person.
chubby man is seeing a lot of women right now.
Yep.
Okay. And your point being?
I just thought it was funny. It's a good story.
That's okay. But
Yeah, it wasn't feeling two girls' nipples at the same time. So I'm sorry.
I mean, when you're younger, you do stupid stuff. Now, I did all of that before I met my wife. So, like, I remember just being mean. And you look back on it now and you go, God, what a shitty person. Like, just immediately getting out of bed. So
would you ever do something like that? Would you ever fake throwing up just
no,
to get out of?
But I have,
out?
like, I'd wipe my dick off on the sheets, call her a whore, and leave. I would do shit like that because I was an asshole. I remember me and my friend Lyle being over stealing stuff out of this girl's house. So I had got a captain's hat because her dad was like a real captain. And him over there wiping his ass on her curtains.
What?
It was like, what the fuck? You look at back and you're just laughing. You're fucking laughing about it at the time. But you look back at it and go, God damn, what a fucking asshole.
Were these girls that you like knew you were never gonna see again? Or did you run into these ladies later and they like say, oh, did you take my dad's hat? Did you wipe your ass on my sheet on the curtains before you fucking left my what was the conversation when you did that and then saw one of these girls later?
Okay, so
he
let's
moved to the other side of the country. He didn't ever want to run into one of these.
Okay, so I'll go back to my first story. Being in Toyota. So all of it's factual. I go back to school, back to high school. And a girl that I wanted to see came up to me. I'll say her first name, Sunny. Came up to me and said, I heard you slept with so-and-so, the driver, right? Didn't know the driver's name because my dad interrupted everything. I might have talked to her afterwards. You never know. I might have said, hey, how you doing? Or something. But we immediately just went back to my house after we dropped off the two girls and we banged. I didn't even talk to her. So hold on. So Sunny comes up to me and goes, Kim told me that this happened because Kim and Sunny were friends. And I said, no, she's lying. We just went back to my house and hung out because I was trying to. But Steve, like Sunny, so he confirmed the whole fucking thing, right? So now I'm in a trap. I'm in a fucking trap. So what happens is Sunny's friends with the driver. She goes and tells the driver, I'm back downtown the following weekend, right? Because I'm trying to get some more hoochie. The driver of I see the Toyota pickup truck come up. She stops. She's fucking steaming pissed because, I should have acknowledged it. Or
because
whatever.
You said that you didn't sleep with her when you did?
Yeah.
And she was pissed about that.
She was pissy. And she goes, I left my bow at your house. So she had a bow, right?
A boat?
A bow that she had in her hair.
A bow.
It's fucking, I don't know why we're going down this road. Anyway, so she's pissed off that I said that I didn't sleep with her. And she wanted the bow back.
It's usually vice versa.
Yeah, I know, right?
No,
good for you.
No.
You hung out with some
such
weird
a reputation.
people.
Anyway,
it's like
I know.
She was.
I know.
The driver was hot.
It's like having sex with somebody famous. Were you famous for something when you were younger?
Stop.
I mean, was
Stop.
it like an achievement climbing?
So
Mount
she pulls
Dwayne?
up. She's pissed off. She's pissed off at me for that reason, whatever fuck it was, and she wanted her bow back.
Like she had left it there, like so you'd remember her?
No, I think she left it there because my dad interrupted everything.
Oh.
She had to pull her panties on and get the fuck out of there.
But he already wiped his ass on his bow. Is that what you're on the bows?
And I said, well, let's go back to my house and get the bow. I'm sorry. And then I apologized. We talked on the way. I got a Hummer. I swear to God, I got a Hummer. She never got her bow. She dropped me off back downtown.
Dude.
I swear to God, she never got her bow back.
So she just wanted to go for round two, is what you're saying?
No, she was pissed, man. She was fucking
Then why
pissed.
did she fucking blow you?
I have no idea.
Oh my God.
A little conversation.
It's just the aura.
This is why the 80s were such a fuck time in this country.
No, the 80s were the best time in this country. Anyways, so, yeah, stuff did get back to people, and people got angry. But people were willing to let go of that anger.
For another fuck.
No, it wasn't a fuck.
Only with Dwayne, though. Just so they could have a story afterwards.
Yeah, it was
like, I was with this.
It was a story. It was like what's a big
chocolate syrup or
yeah, I really do.
Pineapple juice or
no,
something.
Dude,
I mean,
I was aggressive when I was younger. Were you not?
No.
When did you first get popped?
I think technically I was 16.
16. You
11
11
with my uncle.
with your uncle?
No, I was 17. I was trying to save. I was very religious at the time, so I was trying to save myself from marriage. And so my girlfriend at the time, she came over after prom. It was prom night.
Prom night.
Yep. And that's when I got popped. And I left a nice bloody
God.
towel in the bathroom. My mom saw it and said, "Hey, you had a bloody nose, huh?" And she knew exactly what it was. So thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
I was a real scuzzy kid.
No, you were just a kid. We don't know what the fuck
17.
we're doing. Yeah, we're 17.
The worst thing that I used to do is I was really good friends with my friend growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And he had this nice waterbed. He also had, a sister I was really into. So I used to just bang on his waterbed and then blow onto the wall right next to his bed.
Nice.
Sweet.
They used to.
What was his name? First name.
How many of his
Um,
friends do you think had waterbeds growing up? I'm sure this person
Timothy.
knows who he is.
What was his name?
I forget. I don't remember his name.
He's your best friend. You forgot his name.
Yeah, he was.
Was.
Not anymore.
Was.
I still remember.
long
Who was
time
your
ago.
best friend growing up?
Oh no, I know his name. I'm just not
I
saying.
mean,
Yeah,
honestly,
exactly.
I don't think I had a best friend up until I was almost 15.
Wow.
And then I got in trouble when I was 16 and I lost all my friends. So I didn't have friends for like a year and a half. And then I got friends who I moved over here with. But I don't think I've really ever had someone that I would describe as a best friend.
Wow.
Because in my experience with friends, they all either disappoint you at some point or they move away and fuck off and you never see them again.
Well, that's okay.
So I've just kind of gotten out of the habit of labeling people as best friends.
Yeah.
Because that way, when they disappear from my life at some point,
Sure.
I don't have to feel anything over it.
I think you're killing these people.
They're in a fucking ditch somewhere. It's
Someone
okay for.
It's
Please don't label me as your best friend.
it's a form of emotional distancing. That way, nobody can actually hurt me when they disappear from my life.
So I
sounds like you've been hurt
don't
too
think
many
people
times.
disappear from anybody's life. I think like me and my friend Lyle, who was my last best friend. My wife is obviously my best friend now. She's just my confidant.
Yeah, you're legally obligated to say that.
You're legally obligated. But it's not like we had words or anything
No,
like that.
I
You
mean,
just drift apart.
yeah,
You get
exactly.
lives and you just move on to different things.
Yeah.
So-
Or, at the time of my life when I actually had a lot of friends,
Yeah.
eventually college finished
Yeah.
and all of them fucking moved home to go live with their parents because, now they're out of college, they're hugely in debt and they don't have a job.
Yeah. Because they
Yeah,
went,
it's just,
went school for.
I mean, I still have people I've
toenails.
known over here who I met over here
Sure.
who I was good friends with at some point,
Mhm.
and it's just that our lives got complicated.
Yeah, you're protecting
Kids
yourself.
started popping out. We got different jobs where we don't work with each other anymore, and it's just you drift apart over time, and it's
God.
just easier to not label someone as a best friend because then you have two choices. You can either drift apart, have the relationship lessened, and in some way have it hurt,
Who hurt you?
or
That's what I want to know.
Was it a girl?
no, it
No,
was not.
it was a dude.
stepsister. It was a dude.
No.
Yeah. Once you
So-
kiss a dude, they become your best friend.
Fuck.
I've,
you
I have a
know,
lot
I
of best
mean-
friends.
I don't know.
Yeah, he does. He has
It's-
a lot of best friends. Close.
It is what it is. I mean, that's life.
Growing up, Brett-
shit happens
Yeah.
and people drift apart. And
They do.
there comes a certain point where I got the job at Kaiser, my schedule got hectic, and I made the decision that
So Robin is not your best friend.
I mean,
Amanda, your best friend?
She's my partner. She's my wife.
Yeah.
She's the love of my life.
Can you only have one
best
friend? Because I say I have multiple.
Do
Wow,
Robin
you're
and-
cheating on her.
But do
You are
Robin,
officially cheating on her.
do my wife and I
This is my best friend. I think Cody's close.
do the things we each love with each other?
Devin.
Does she, come downstairs and say, "Hey, let's play a video game together" and shit like that? The things I love doing?
Right.
No. We don't have
I think
similar
that's-
interests like that.
No, I think that's the beauty of why me and Chris are best friends. So instead of her coming down and playing a video game with me. She accepts that I go down and play Minecraft.
Well, yeah, and that's what
And-
Robin does for me
yeah.
as well too.
and
you
she
know?
doesn't shit on anything that I say, and
Yeah.
she's always there for me to talk to and all that. So
And she listens to me when I get excited about things she doesn't give a single fuck about.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, stuff like that.
so basically,
But
you're
I
cheating
would-
on
but-
Amanda.
I wouldn't describe that as a best friend relationship because a best friend relationship is where two people participate in doing things they love together.
And bang.
The banging. The
So
banging.
Friends with
I don't
benef-
know.
Best friends with benefits.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But back to my point, you know, with the person I'm thinking of specifically, I got hired on at Kaiser and I had a choice of I could either give up what little time I had left where I wasn't absolutely fucking exhausted all the time
Sure.
to spend with them,
hmm
or I could spend it at home in a comfortable place with my family.
Yep.
And in the end, I chose my personal time over the friendship essentially.
Well, you
So, I
you
mean-
chose to give your time to your family. Otherwise, if you took that time away from your family, you could give it to the other person. You just chose. You made a choice.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just so I don't know. Best friends are overrated.
No, they're not. I had
It's a lot of work.
What's a lot of work?
Having to make time for people.
What?
Like they
Your
said in
circle of
Altered
friends.
Carbon, friends are overrated because
Yeah.
eventually someone will come along and shoot them in the stack.
Shoot him in the stack?
Yeah.
Shoot him in the sack.
No, the stack.
Either or.
No, shoot
Either
him in
or.
the sack.
No, you haven't seen Altered Carbon. Have you?
Well,
I've seen the first season.
it's because he kisses his best friend, so could go further.
He shoots from the sack.
Yes, he does.
Your best friend?
Cody.
Oh, okay.
He was
All right.
shooting underneath the table while he was
Wow.
here. That's why he's
Wow.
the best dungeon
He's
master.
very discreet.
He left stalactites
He what?
under the table.
Did he?
Yeah.
Did you go taste him?
Keep up that salt content.
Oh, he's so fucking bored over there. He hasn't laughed
Dude,
once.
he's been zoned out for the last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I've just been seeing us on the camera up there.
I
No one
know.
gives a fuck about you, Dwayne.
It's okay. I don't care at this point. So,
His
well
eyes
done.
glazed over. He's kind of catatonic.
Yeah.
Did he pass out sitting up?
Dude, I keep seeing him blink. I don't think there's. I see no reaction at all from him, though. other than
Zach's
that.
awake. Zach, you're awake, right? Yep. Yep. You fucking.
Is
You
there,
guys,
is there another anime video going on over there? that
No,
I can't
which
take
is
now?
weird because he was a lot more active when he was watching anime, and I figure you didn't have a talk with him saying, "Hey, you got to be more active and switch
No.
cameras." I think he's got to have an anime video pulled up, like VR chat or something.
he really thinks that we need to network and get into VR chat, and that's the way we're going to do it. I don't think VR chat or VR is all that exciting or all that popular.
Or all that accessible in its current form.
He's still trying to process about
Jiggle
you know,
physics.
you were able to feel two girls' titties at the same time.
Who? Zach?
Phew. Zach's processing it. He's
No.
thinking about how scuzzy his dad was back in the day,
No.
back in
it's-
'89.
Well, to be fair, when he started telling that story,
Yeah.
I thought for sure he was going to say that he put his hands down their pants. So
Yeah,
to learn that it
with
was
the
just
cold
some
hands, right?
nipple
Yeah.
fondling,
Well, it's because
some nipple braille, as you said.
It was a long fucking way around just to talk about preferred nipples.
Who's your favorite porn star?
Jenna Jameson
Do
is
they
always.
have porn stars anymore? I mean, with like any asshole being able to upload a video to the internet, are porn stars actually still a thing?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Jenna
Oh,
Jameson was my
yeah.
favorite porn star
Weird.
of all time.
That's bizarre.
I don't know who that is.
Really?
That's probably because she's like
My age.
65 fucking years old. at
No,
this
she's
point.
my age
And
now.
now she's making GILF videos. Once you reach,
Yeah, he probably
30,
he
you
probably
make a
still
MILF.
thinks of people like Pamela Anderson, even though she's like 60 fucking years
She's
old too.
never a
Mostly plastic.
porn star.
Wasn't she?
No.
Pretty sure she
No,
was.
Jenna Jameson is now plastic, and it's not great.
I should have big
Wasn't
lips.
Pamela? Wasn't she a porn star?
No. She had Tommy Lee, drummer from Motley Crue, banged her. The videotape got released.
That's the highlight of her life. That's what she got famous for.
No, so she banged Brett Michaels of Poison before that,
Holy
and somehow
cow.
that got released.
With these videos, you talking?
Yeah, and I don't know if she.
You have to pay money for these, or can we watch them any?
You can watch them on the internet. I don't know if Kid Rock
Ah,
and
she was the Playmate of the Month in Playboy
her. All right.
I remember that.
back in 1990.
So that's my favorite. I'm gonna type in young Jenna Jameson before she got all her plastic surgery.
So we're all gonna sit here on our phones on the podcast now,
No, I'll
looking up porn stars.
I'll upload. So there's her without makeup on when she was young.
She got a weird nose. It's kind of crooked.
Yeah, you don't like weird teeth either, and she's got weird teeth.
And then there's her with makeup on.
No one's looking at her makeup. How can you even tell that she's got makeup on?
She is just very pretty. Very pretty.
Mm.
And here's her now. So she's been fixed up a little bit.
Mm.
And I like the
Her
younger version.
now. What do you mean? There's got to be so much
mean,
detailing
she
to that picture.
Just looks, yeah, but I mean, you can tell she's way older.
Older, yeah. It is what it is. We all get older. But yeah, she was my favorite porn star back in the day.
Oh.
And now I since my probably 20s, haven't watched porn.
Yeah,
Yours?
you have to dig up your VHSs from the woods, right?
Yeah,
They probably deteriorated
Those
by now.
Playboys from the 80s where this big,
It's
huge
mostly
fucking
hair.
bush was the
Yeah.
thing.
Who's your favorite porn star? Ron Jeremy?
Look like carrots.
I don't know how Ron Jeremy was ever a porn star because that is one ugly
Yeah,
motherfucker.
he's
Like
greasy.
he is, he looks fucking. He looks like he's an STD farm.
He's chlamydia
he's
in
one
human form.
disgusting looking motherfucker.
He doesn't
and
look
you
like
can
that to me.
tell that he is a porn star from the 70s and 80s because
Yeah.
apparently back then any motherfucker with a sizable cock could be a porn star. Looks didn't matter. And then at some point that all changed.
Thank God. Because I hate.
What are you
seeing,
talking
know,
about with the hipster revolution now?
If
Looks
you're
don't
watching
matter.
a porn or something, and you see like Ron Jeremy's hairy asshole, that just pulls me right out of it.
He doesn't look greasy to me. He looks like Mario.
He's the green.
I mean,
He looks like
yeah, he
fucking
looks
Mario.
like Mario, but he looks gross.
Every
like,
time I watch a porn with him, I
he
want to go play Donkey
exudes
Kong.
like slime. Like he
You know
just,
he's just sticky and smells bad.
yeah,
Maybe.
he's got that aura of someone who like smells like week old fish or some shit
Yes.
like that.
But I'm
He's
telling
like
you,
an unattractive Jack Sparrow.
every time I watch a porn with him
And
in it,
isn't he like super short too? Like he's stumpy.
Just super confident. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe he
His
exudes
confidence, yeah.
But he's
wow.
going down though, isn't he? Like all these people that he raped and stuff, like girls and stuff that he had come up to his penthouse and he just did.
Oh, I don't know.
I think that's you don't go up to Ron Jeremy's suite and not think you're gonna get diddled though.
Oh, I know. No kidding, right?
That's just a given.
What do they think he's like gonna put on a nice dinner?
Yeah, right.
You know,
It's
watch a fucking Disney movie.
a Netflix and chill.
Yeah,
Fourth
I
way.
know,
No,
right? If you're going to Ron Jeremy's house,
Yeah.
you're getting fucked.
the doorman just takes your clothes right off the bat.
yeah,
That's the
Well,
only
it's a
way you
re-
can get in the elevator is if
a
you're naked.
requirement. Yeah,
But yeah, that man is hideous.
5'6".
He's awful looking.
5'6"?
5'6".
He's pretty short for a guy then.
Well, and when you have an 8-inch dick and you're 5'6", it looks huge.
I mean, I
That's
guess.
true. That's like
Yeah.
a sixth of his length.
Get your dick out and have Zach come over and put his hands next to it.
That's
Yeah.
And
horrible.
see what your dick looks like. We'll take a picture of it and then go home and pull out your dick and have your wife's hands next to your dick and see the difference.
I'd-
right?
I'd rather
Cool.
not do either.
What?
Yeah, I got
This is
I
for-
got a micro penis.
This is for fucking.
It looks small even when
I'm
my
ju- I'm
newborn
just saying,
baby's hands
if
next
you
to
if you
it.
have
I mean,
somebody
fuck.
with Andre Giant's hands next to your cock,
No, it
it's
doesn't
gonna-
matter the size of the hands.
oh, it does.
We're talking about like 1 centimeter hard.
That's good.
So come on, everything looks.
So
giant next to it.
5'6",
Girth over
he's smaller with an 8-inch dick. He looks like he has a huge dick. but
I really don't.
you put that
know
dick
if-
on
if
me,
That
being
matters.
6'4", it
Yeah, but
does.
look at his face.
Mario.
He's
He's he's not. He's saving Princess Peach. Come on. He's banging Princess
Isn't it-
Peach.
isn't it-
He's in the dungeon just hammering the shit out of her. What the fuck he's doing? Oh, Ron, why'd you let us down, Ron? It's kind of like OJ in the fucking Bronco. You're so sad when you see that he did it. Why? Why'd you do this? Now he's on fucking trial. Have you seen him? What he looks like on trial?
OJ?
No, OJ's free.
Oh, Ron. Yeah. Sorry.
OJ's out there fucking
I can
killing other
see-
people
wait,
right now.
Trump coming out with a book
Is he
saying,
actually being charged for a bunch of shit now or something?
Yeah.
Oh, somehow this news has completely gone past me.
Yeah.
But
Why does he look like a skeleton? He looks like he's a mummy.
what'd
He's
you,
like,
what'd you just hit?
oh shoot.
You just hit something, and now I'm looking at a hamburger. Here, let's go back. Oh my god, he looks like
that?
it looks
like
like
a
a
Draugr
scene
from
from like
Skyrim.
Silence of the Lambs or something, where he's got the fucking mask on so he can't munch on somebody's shit. What the fuck?
Don't get a
I
pussy.
mean, look at him.
Well, don't get a pussy near his face.
What
'cause
happened to
it's just
him?
gonna gravitate
Like-
over there. He's
Like
gonna
that,
start.
that is the Ron Jeremy I'm used to seeing.
Yep.
Who the fuck is this guy?
Dude,
I mean, look
so
at
close
him.
to
you're
death.
such a cunt.
Oh my god, he's gone so far downhill that
I know, but that's what
he's
Mario.
unrecognizable.
That's what Mario looks like. They should have a video game with Mario just all fucking strung out on dope and shit. He'd be Ron Jeremy right now.
You know, they did the same thing with Harvey Weinstein, though. They made him look decrepit, and they
He
try to
was.
make you feel bad for him, so he doesn't get as Harvey Weinstein was perfectly fine. Then he came to court in what, a walker, and he looked like
I think he
was
went
one
to
step
jail
away
for a
from
bit,
death.
and then when he came out, he was like that. I can't remember which one of Trump's guys did the same thing when he went into court. He was like in a wheelchair or something like that. I can't remember.
Mm.
But yeah,
He
that's
does-
just
he
that's
looks awful.
Mario when he's just fucking 70 years old. I want a video game with Mario that looks like that. He's just fucking going up to hookers and they turn him down so he rapes them.
Oh god, dude, look at his hair. He looks like a cancer patient. Honestly.
Okay.
Sorry for being insensitive to Ron Jeremy, but you suck.
Well, I mean, he's never been like anywhere near an attractive man.
And he's always been a
So you
slut.
haven't
Now,
heard you
now,
haven't
now he's just an old, fugly, unattractive man. I mean, that's all there is to it.
well
It's just the final evolution of Ron Jeremy.
No, they
Brain,
had to
pull up a
pay
current picture of Ron Jeremy.
they had to I'll throw it on the
Thank you.
Yeah,
podcast.
that's look at that. It's just
It's sad.
It's not good.
It's sad that one of our heroes,
please don't say national treasures.
one of our national treasures,
Fuck.
Our heroes.
when he strayed so far, it's basically raping people and having sex with underage kids and stuff like that.
It's not like
You see him on TV,
I mean,
and you're a 13-year-old child.
seems to be a trend of powerful people, right, in this country.
Right.
I mean,
It's always
think
been a
about
trend.
it. I mean, and most of them don't even need to seek out these kids. It seems like somehow these kids get it in their mind that, ooh, rich and powerful person, I'm gonna go fuck that person. Normally, a normal person would be like, dude, fuck off. But these rich and powerful people know that they're probably never going to have to deal with the consequences of their actions, so they go
No.
to Pound Town with a 13-year-old.
think about like how
he's
many.
just seeing the consequences now.
Well, yeah, but how many years later? How long has it taken to get to this point? How
what is
many?
he? He's like
how many
75,
young
right?
women,
Yeah, I could.
possibly underage women, did he plow through before we got to this point?
Yeah, but we've come to the understanding that he doesn't have a giant cock. He's just short.
Not enough though. He's apparently not sucking the life out of these young women with his dick, which is what we thought was.
Can you do
going
that?
on.
I thought you had to suck the blood out through an IV and then pump it back into your cock.
He's got a magical cock. I think he can do anything with that.
well,
I think he's.
I don't think he's
sucking out
Jesus.
life forces.
I think you're mixing up a
Baby Jesus.
succubus with an incubus. Because an
you got
incubus
it.
takes the cum that the succubus collects and impregnates women with it.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I've
You got to
never
look this
listened-
shit
I've never
up.
listened to Incubus again.
That's
Interesting. The
I
more
bet you.
you know.
I bet you our dungeon master knew that.
Probably.
Yeah.
He does like Incubus. He likes dumb bands like Soundgarden and Audio Slave. Ugh.
Didn't Incubus only have like one song, like Drive? And that was it?
Yeah,
I'm sure they had a few more than that. Just
Well,
one
I mean,
you heard
a
about.
song that like made it onto the radio.
I believe they're playing Coeur d'Alene Casino.
Well, that just shows they're past their
Yeah,
prime.
that's
Right. Well, I'm just.
I mean,
They're playing the
anybody
parking
who
lot of
starts
Coeur
playing
d'Alene Casino.
casinos is long past the height of their career.
I wish
You say
I wish
that.
Kid Rock would come. So
I
I'd
mean,
go to a Kid
I,
Rock
I-
concert.
I would consider playing at the Knitting Factory to be a step up from playing the casinos. And then, of course, after the Knitting Factory, you got the arena. The
Right.
arena is where bands who can actually pull in a sold-out crowd go.
You got
The
like
Knitting
500
Factory is for bands that can pull in a sold-out crowd when there's only 2,000 seats available.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Does it fit 2,000
know.
people? Knitting Factory?
I think it's like 2.
Yeah.
That's
Because
insane.
I think it's like right at 2.
when my band had
It
600.
doesn't seem like it, does it?
No.
It doesn't feel
It
that
feels
big.
like 400, like max.
No, we had 600 people there, and
Well, let me search it up. I'm sure it says.
We had 600 people there, and there was still room.
Yeah, it's bigger than it looks once you factor in the
The
second floor,
second floor.
and yeah.
Yeah, 600 people there, and there was still room.
Yeah, but what was the biggest concert of all time?
Oh, it used to be Kiss when they were in
Oh,
Rio de
nope.
Janeiro.
Looks like I was wrong. 1,500.
1,500.
Still.
That's a lot. You get a lot of body heat coming off that. And you're gonna be hot and miserable.
Oh fuck! I remember when I
Go stand
saw
on stage and run around for a bit.
3 Days Grace there. Oh fuck!
Yeah.
It was a sold out show, obviously,
So
and it was hot
You're nut to butt.
as fuck. The only thing that saved me that entire concert is because we had managed to stand right behind the gate, in front of where the tables are, and there was a fucking air vent. It turned on like every couple of minutes and started blowing cool air out. The only thing that fucking saved me, because that show was in the dead of the fucking summer, sold out crowd, shoulder to shoulder in there.
But it was 8 o'clock at night too, so it was nice and warm.
It
Got the heat from the day there.
oh yeah, and
They have air conditioning.
there
Come
was so
on.
much fucking
God.
weed being smoked at that concert.
Like,
Like,
that's a given anymore. That's any concert.
well, the Knitting Factory cracked down on that shit for a while.
Yeah, they'd show
there.
like flashlights above the crowd and look for the smoke.
Yeah.
And come down and yank you
Yeah.
out of there.
Well, they used to have a balcony that you could access from the second floor, I believe, where people would go out and smoke.
Okay.
But then they passed that 25 feet law where you
I remember
can't
going out
smoke
to the
within.
balcony. I
Where,
remember smoking with a security guard out
yeah,
there.
and now you can't use it because every door is within 25 feet of every part of that balcony. And since
Christ.
Washington State passed that law, can't do it anymore.
How long ago
Fucking-
was that? Because I remember doing that like 4 years ago.
That was like 10 years ago.
I was
It
going to say the
it was
law
been a
of
long time.
25 feet or more has been on the books for quite a while.
It might have been
When
in
they
Oregon.
started enforcing it at the knitting factory is a different question, but
I saw the bottleman. Was it Fishman in the bottle? Like, something like that. It was in Oregon. I went out and smoked. It wasn't Washington.
So we're going to shut her down here in a second. So the casinos, what they do is, since they're owned by an entity, they give these bands a certain amount of money to go around and play all these casinos. So they sign a contract with them. It could be like $10 million. So you
like with
it's guaranteed money.
casinos like nationwide.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they go around and play gigs regionally and all that.
So
bullshit,
it doesn't
and they
matter
come-
how many people
in.
come in
Yeah.
because they've already been paid is
Yeah.
basically what it is.
So you passed your prime, okay, but you're still getting paid some fucking bank.
Gotcha.
And the casinos are hoping to make some money. All right, well, this has gone on long enough, I think.
Yeah,
So-
it's about average for our podcast. We're sitting at just shy of 2 hours. So
It's a lot longer. Excuse me. It's not average.
if you say so, Mr. 8 minutes late.
3.5 inches is average.
Is it though? I thought it was like 5 and a
Stop
little
it.
less than a half in the
The
United
things
States.
I need to tell myself so I don't eat myself off a cliff.
It is what it is. Thank you for
Yep.
joining us on this episode of the Unfamiliar Podcast.
Bye.
You got to start paying Zach's like